Hey, Forrest here. Nothing like getting paid. And with ICCU's mobile app, I can deposit checks or accept Zelle payments so the money hits my account fast. I just wish there was an app for mowing the rest of these lawns.
Right now, Lithia Ford of Boise is buying used vehicles. How much you want for the SUV?
I don't know.
Lithia Ford will give you more than that.
How much more?
More than you think.
I'm not thinking anything.
I'm thinking you might get even more than that. See how much more you can get at Lithia Ford of Boise.
When it comes to concrete, we've got you covered. Rowpaint.com offers custom concrete coating services for your garage, business, warehouse, and more. And we do it in one day. We are your complete concrete coatings solution.
Welcome to the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show from Bronco Nation News as we get you set for the latest news, insight, and analysis as game time approaches. The BNN pregame show is presented by Lithia Ford of Boise. Check out LithiaFordBoise.com to view the full inventory of vehicles or check them out at 8853 West Fairview in Boise. Today's broadcast is coming from the Cutwater Spirits Canned Cocktail Studios. Check out one of their more than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Now, let's head out and join BJ Rains for the Lithia Ford of Boise pregame show from Bronco Nation News.
Well, good morning, Boise State basketball fans. We have made the cross-country trek overnight. Football game last night in Logan, Utah, and we have made it to LittleJohn Coliseum here on the campus of Clemson University. Boise State busting out the all-black uniforms this morning, I guess, back in Boise. Boise State going with the new black uniforms as they get set for a big road test against Clemson. Yes, I made it. I am here. Abe Jackson is with me. Abe, we are literally in the last row of the stadium.
We are. The wall is behind us.
I wish I could show you where we're at. I guess you can see this angle right here. We are literally in the top row of the arena. But we made it.
Yeah.
You're going to be calling the game with not Bob Beeler, but Leonard Berry today.
Leonard Berry, yep. We called a couple games last year, a win against Washington State and also a win against Texas A&M. So I think Leonard and I are 2-0 partnering up on the broadcast.
We will show you some more warm-ups here in a little bit. Again, kind of an odd setup here, Abe, and you're like a foot taller than me, so I feel like I need to go like this to get in the shot here. But big opportunity today for Boise State.
It is, and especially because it's the first really true road test. And a lot of times you don't have one of those that early in the season. You'll have some home games, and then you'll play some neutral site courts like the Broncos are going to do in Florida. But this is a true road test against a solid Clemson team that, kind of like Boise State, has some transfers coming over from some other universities that have put up some big numbers.
Obviously a unique game here, coming all the way to the East Coast ahead of the trip to Orlando next week. The team came out on Friday. What do you make of just the cross-country trek here? This is not a normal road trip for the Broncos.
No, but I think with this team, there's so many veterans either with the Boise State program or at other programs that I don't really think travel is going to bother these guys at all. You have Max and Tyson and Buzo, who've been in the program for a few years. Then you have transfers who have played a lot of Division I basketball. So whether or not you're going over to Idaho Falls on a bus later on in the season, or if you're coming across the country to South Carolina to play Clemson, I don't think the road's going to worry the Broncos too much.
2-0, Boise State looking good so far, Abe. What stood out to you so far here in the 2-0 start?
Well, I just like that the guys who are supposed to show up are the ones that are showing up. You never really know. You have it on paper, and you know that these three guys are going to be some of our main scorers in Buzo, Max, and Tyson, and then you're going to try and cherry pick some from some other guys. They have shown up. They got some good double digits against San Francisco, and Omar inside, I think, is going to be a difference maker for the Broncos. The aggression that he plays with and how he can just go up and get boards and be a physical presence inside. I think it's been a while since the Broncos have really had a physical presence inside. Tyson was the 5-man last year. Strong guy, but I wouldn't say he was a physical presence inside. And then they've had some taller, lanky centers over the past few years that were athletic and could move. But again, not a physical presence. Omar Stanley, I think he is that for the Broncos.
What going on the road, ACC venue like this, what are the keys for Boise State to get a win today?
Well, you're going to have to guard the three-point line. Clemson is a really good three-point shooter. They have a guy named Gerard who transferred from Syracuse who was shooting around 40% from three, so he can really knock it down. And they're actually not that big of a team in Clemson, so I think the transition defense will be huge for the Broncos because they're going to want to get out and they're going to want to run. But like any road game, you want to start off on the right foot. It's hard to come back in basketball when you get down early, whether or not, even when you're at home. But if you're out on the road in a big environment like this, it'll be interesting to see what the fans are like on a Sunday leading into the Thanksgiving week. But in an environment like this, to get out to a good start, I think could really, really help the Broncos.
Again, you're going to hear Abe Jackson, Leonard Berry coming up at the bottom of the hour, 10:30 back in Boise. It's crazy, 2-hour time difference here. I was trying to figure out what time it was, but it is 12:06 here on the East Coast, so it'll be 10:06 back in Boise, so 10:30 on 670 KBOI.
What does your body feel like?
Hey, man.
Does it feel like
somebody said I looked a little my eyes looked a little glazed. Yeah, a little glazed, but
that's just the energy drinks flowing through your veins.
I got about 60 minutes of sleep. I made it in time at the hotel. I got 60 minutes of sleep, so I got 1 hour and I got a shower, and I'm ready to go, man. Tyson Degenhart was walking by and he said, "Glad you made it, man." I said, "Well, make it worth it to me to be here." So hopefully they will play well. But the black uniforms tonight too, I like those,
they look
man.
Sharp. They really do. The orange pops off the bump. You got a little bit of white around the numbers and blue numbers. It looks nice. I like it.
What's this team, man? Obviously, this tournament, it's a big opportunity here, and I think this is a big game for a lot of reasons because that tournament is going to be so tough. You really would love to be 1-0 going down there on this trip and 0-1.
Sure.
But obviously, it's one game. It's going to be a quad one game, a nice resume-building game for Boise State. But what do you make of just the importance of this game in the big picture? Because if you get this thing in the bag, as Leon would say, this is one of those feather in the cap type games that all season will pay some dividends.
Yeah, and I think what paid dividends for the Broncos last year was the win against Texas A&M. They ended up doing really well in the SEC, and I think this could be one of those games as well. Clemson in the ACC, but has a lot of experience and is a good basketball team. You come on their home court and you beat them, that will pay dividends for the rest of the year. And like you also mentioned, you go 1-0 going into this tournament in Florida where you're going to open with Virginia Tech. You win that game, you'll probably see Iowa State in the next game after that. You've got some big-time teams coming up in this 4-game stretch that starts here this afternoon at Clemson.
Again, the game is on is it the ACC network, or I think the ESPN Plus will have it. It's kind of confusing.
I only worry about radio.
Yeah, and that's all. I tell you, you can watch it, but turn down the sound. Bob has all these tricks to time it so you can have the sound matching up. But what do you make of the LittleJohn Coliseum here?
Well, it's a big-time arena. I mean, it's a bowl setting, so you don't have tiers like you do at Extra Mile in Boise. It's one level going all the way up, but we were walking up to your spot here, BJ, thinking about, man, if you had one too many cocktails,
yes,
these steep stairs might get the best of you. It is almost vertical straight up. Usually with bowls, they go outwards.
Yeah.
But this one seems to go just straight from the court.
Yeah, you can see in this shot right here over on the right side of the screen, both I guess, end zones, but both behind the baskets are very steep seating. Abe, what were some of your favorite road? You got to make some unique games and things. What would just bring back any memories? Do you guys have any big non-conference games or things that stand out to you?
Well, my junior year, it might still be the hardest opening road trip in the history of Boise State, where we opened at Cincinnati on a Thursday and then went to Kansas on a Saturday. So those are two big-time places to play in. The crowds are great. When you're a basketball player, you just want energy in the building. You love the energy rooting for you, but there's also something about energy that's rooting against you. When you make a shot and 10,000 people go crazy when you're at home, that's an awesome feeling. But also when you make a shot and 10,000 people just completely shut up, that's also some good energy too.
Somebody said we're in the euchre seats up here. We are literally in the last row of the arena.
This is right here.
Yeah.
That's the back of the arena right there.
We won't have to worry about anybody behind us heckling us or anything. But, the media seating here, they put you way up in the rafters. They tell you what you think of you here. But cool environment, going to be a lot of fun. We're looking forward, Abe, to the bottom of the hour here in you and Leonard Berry on the call. I'm excited, man. Big-time game, early season test. You have the tournament coming up. And, again, it's not the end-all, be-all. You lose this game, you're still okay. But, as I said, you get this one, man, it's going to help in the computer rankings all season long. Final thoughts, Abe. Just a big opportunity, as we said, to kind of start this thing off. But not the end of the world if you lose, but you could, as we said, this could really be a big one you could have all year. And either way, this will be one of the tougher environments they play all year. So you get a nice early test that could help you out later in the season.
Yeah, and the cliche saying in basketball is defense travels, and that's what the Broncos had to have packed with them, because offense can come and go. You have to work through the highs and lows of your shooting, but your defense and your rebounding needs to stay consistent. And if they can do that here this afternoon, their offense will get there. They might go 0 for 4 when they start from 3, but then they'll knock down a couple. That'll be fine. But the defense and rebounding, if you can stay consistent throughout the entire game, limit their runs to maybe 6 points, 5 to 6 points, instead of getting to that 8 to 10, then I think you'll be all right, and you can come out here with a win.
Appreciate it, Abe. Abe Jackson, again, you can hear him bottom of the hour, 670 KBOI, him and Leonard Berry, the broadcast with the pregame show, and then tip-off just after the top of the hour. So appreciate you, Abe, and we'll let you get down there and get set up for the game.
All right, thanks, BJ.
There he is, Abe Jackson. Again, we are live here at LittleJohn Coliseum. We made it. Yes, we made it. We flew all night, had the midnight flight out of the Salt Lake City airport, and we are here and pumped to be here. Barely made the flight. It was a little bit of a tough go, but we got there, got some work done on the flight, and didn't sleep on the plane, but did make it. 2-hour drive. We landed about 6 o'clock in the morning in Charlotte, and then made the drive, about 2-hour drive over to the hotel, and then got a shower and about an hour nap, and we're good to go. So appreciate all you guys for checking us out. We're going to keep this thing rolling. We're going to hear from Leon Rice. We'll show you some more of the warm-ups, and excited to be here. It's cool that we were able to pull this off, and excited to make the cross-country trip and be here to cover Boise State basketball against Clemson. Again, LittleJohn Coliseum is the arena. We're going to hear from Leon Rice in just a few minutes. Got a chance to catch up with him to preview Clemson, preview this road trip. This is the first of a 4-game road trip for Boise State. Don't go anywhere. We're back in 90 seconds live from the LittleJohn Coliseum. We'll be right back here on the Bronco Nation News pregame show. All Bronco Nation News broadcasts come from the Cutwater Spirits Canned Cocktail Studios. Check out one of their more than 30 flavors of premix premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Cutwater Spirits, perfect for your next game day tailgate party. Our title sponsor is rowpaint.com. For all your commercial, industrial, residential painting needs, check out rowpaint.com. Don't forget about their concrete coatings. Transform that ugly concrete slab on your back patio in your garage in just one day. Contact rowpaint.com for a free estimate today. The official paint and coatings company of Boise State Athletics, and our title sponsor at Bronco Nation News is rowpaint.com. Idaho Central Credit Union's been helping members achieve financial success for more than 80 years. There's an ICCU branch on almost every corner, but the closest is in your pocket with free eBranch mobile and online banking. See why more than 500,000 members love ICCU, and join 1 in 4 Idahoans by making the switch today at ICCU.com. Since 1984, Ridley's Family Markets has prided itself on being a hometown food and drug store that employed value members of the local community. Ridley's Family Markets has 13 locations in the state of Idaho and many more in the surrounding states. Download the new Ridley's app to your smartphone. Get savings up to 40% off at the checkout line, and find a location near you at shopridleys.com. Former Bronco Matt Bauscher is once again the number 1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley. No home is too big or too small for Matt and his team. Let them fulfill all your real estate needs at BauscherRealEstate.com. Here live at the LittleJohn Coliseum, here on the campus of Clemson University, getting you set for Boise State at Clemson. A big early season test here for Boise State. How about that football game last night? I had a couple people asking about that. Melinda's asking if I was able to watch the games. I did not. I was heading to the airport and then was on my flight and tracking them on the game tracker. You guys, if you're curious, there were a couple people asking. Randy Stevens is sitting behind the Bronco bench. So, Randy, appreciate you for watching. See you guys down there while I'm waving at you. But this should be an exciting game today. But a couple of you guys were asking about the tiebreaker for Boise State for the football championship game. I just talked to the Mountain West Conference, and I knew this was the case, but just to confirm, if UNLV wins, whoever wins, Air Force or Boise State, will go to play at UNLV in the championship. So if UNLV wins, Boise State just has to win. But if San Jose State wins, the 3-team tiebreaker at 6-2 would go to the computer rankings, and that would not probably favor Boise State. So The Boise State is a little bit further down in the computer rankings. It'd be very close, to be honest with you, between San Jose State and Boise State. They were about tied in the computer rankings last I looked. So there's a chance Boise State with a big win would pass over them. But to be completely, not have to worry about it, just win the game and have UNLV win the game, and you're heading to Vegas for the championship the following weekend. But if there is a three-way tie, it does go to the computer rankings, and that would be pretty tough to figure out who that would be. So it'd be UNLV, San Jose State, and then Boise State. So I think UNLV would probably get in. I think their numbers are higher, and then not sure if it'd be San Jose State or Boise State for the second one. Nate says, I'm barely recovering from last night, and I slept in. Not sure how you did it. I got about 60 minutes, folks. I'm ready to go. This is going to be a fun time. I am fired up to be here, and I am very excited. I will sleep later today, this evening, tomorrow, but I got to the hotel. I won't lie. The last 20 minutes or so of the drive was about a 2-hour drive. The last 20 minutes or so, I was starting to struggle a little bit, but powered through, made it to the hotel about 9 in the morning here. Got a quick 1-hour nap in and a shower, and here we are. So excited to be here. There's 37 minutes on the clock. Again, if you look down there, if you're joining us, we are literally at the top of the arena. Boise State is warming up down there in the all-black uniforms, making their debut today. The new black uniforms for Boise State, I really like them, and we'll see if Boise State can get this thing going. They brought the entire team, by the way, all 16 players, because they're heading down to Orlando and didn't want to leave anybody behind. So a typical road game, you're not bringing all the walk-ons, but they brought all 16 players on this trip, which I think is pretty cool. They chartered out here, by the way, as well. That's something they're doing more this year, and I think that's going to make a big difference. They're flying back commercially, but to make sure that they were focused and didn't have to spend all day on Friday in the airport, they chartered down here and came straight from Boise on about a 30-seat jet. So that's a big deal for Boise State to be able to charter. Shout out to Cody Gogler, by the way. I wasn't the only one that made this trip. Cody Gogler, I need to talk to his travel agent, though, because I think he went through New York on his connecting flight last night. But Cody Gogler sitting on the Boise State bench down there, he also made the trip as well. So shout out Cody Gogler for making the trip here. And me and Cody were both at the football game last night and both made it here in time for this game at the LittleJohn Coliseum. We're going to hear from Leon Rice in a few minutes. Mackenzie says, just looked, UNLV 36, Air Force 38, Boise 50, San Jose State 59. We'll have to. It's going to be close. It will be close on the computer rankings. But again, if you're Boise State, just win, have UNLV win, and you don't have to worry about it. The big thing is you got to win first. But as I was telling somebody earlier, I don't know if it matters who Boise State plays this next week. I think with how well they're playing right now, how well they looked with Spencer Danielson at the helm yesterday, I think Boise State is in a pretty good spot right now. Let's see. Caffeine, Nate Wilder says, yes, I have my rain, and this is already the second one, and I have one more with me here. So I think there's like 300 megs of all natural caffeine in one of these, and I do have one more to help us power through here today. But excited to be here for Bronco Nation News. Would love to have your subscription, $50. BNN 50 deal is the promo code there at the bottom of the screen. BNN 50 deal. We'd love to have your support and help us with these travel costs and things that cost money to be here on this trip and be here in Orlando as well. So for the next week. So if you're able to and you're not a paying subscriber, we would love to have you. We are in the mobile Cutwater Studios. Somebody asked me if I had a couple of Cutwaters on the flight. You better believe it. It was a fun night after the Boise State win, made the flight, and yes, had a couple beverages, got some work done, and excited to be here today. But the mobile Cutwater Studios, more than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails. You can pick one up at your local gas station or a grocery store. Robbie says, appreciate you. Thank you. Appreciate you as well, Robbie. Fresno lost. Yes, they did. I mean, that is unbelievable when you think about it. 24-point spread. I mean, New Mexico is more than a 3-touchdown underdog, and they somehow win the game. So just incredible for New Mexico to find a way to win that game last night. I would not have predicted that to happen. Did not see that coming. But New Mexico wins, and now Boise State has the inside track to playing in the Mountain West Championship game. And I'll tell you what, if Spencer Danielson wins the Mountain West title, oh, we got Jordan K in the house. Look at this. Oh my gosh, he's got the hat on. Look at this guy. You guys recognize this guy? We got
Let's go.
he's even wearing the look at this. Look at this.
Represent.
I want that shirt back. We got Jordan. Jordan, you want to sit down for a minute? Come on, man. Let's catch up with you. We'll talk to Jordan for a minute here. Jordan.
Wow.
How many beverages you got in you already, man?
I had to drive like 2 hours.
I drove 2 hours this morning as well. So how you doing, man?
I'm great. How are you?
Jordan K. You
Wow.
might remember him. He worked for B&N for about a month. And now he's out here. Did Boise State hook you up with a ticket? You can say that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes.
So you're right behind the bench?
Yeah, I'm row 2.
Wow, row 2 for Jordan K. Wow, how about that? How's it going out here, man?
It's good. I've been having to follow a lot of drama out in Boise the last couple weeks.
Do you miss not being around for all that?
A little bit. I'm not going to lie.
I think the fans.
Interesting little couple weeks.
The fans miss you, man. I think some of the questions that you would have had some fun with some of this stuff. With Eric McAllister and
you guys were asking really good questions, though, especially to Dickie, and he didn't give a whole lot, but man, I mean, some of those questions to Andy those last couple weeks would have been very fun.
Yeah, and the whole Lou Major situation.
Holy cow. I'm sure you've heard a bunch about that, but yeah, I think that was a big part of why Andy Avalos is no longer the head coach.
How's South Carolina, man?
It's good. Weather's nice. Games are fun. Traveling around a little bit. So I've enjoyed it so far.
What do you make of the LittleJohn Coliseum here?
I've been here for about 4 minutes. It's actually very nice. It's kind of like a small college basketball feel. They probably can't do like concerts or big things in here. Looks like, what would you say, about 10,000? For capacity.
Yeah, that's probably about right.
But the concourse is beautiful. It looks like it's either very new or they just renovated it. The whole thing is very nice. Great walkways.
Yeah.
Awesome little like Hall of Fame type stuff all around the concourse. So I really like it so far. Parking was easy. It's a weird little town though.
It's
super small. It's kind of more impressive what Dabo Swinney's built when you consider that no one really lives in Clemson. Most of the people who cover the team or even work around here live in like Greenville, which is about 45 minutes away. So
yeah,
it's kind of a weird little small town.
People are saying we need the Andy Avalos interview on B&N, and they're wanting you to do that. I don't know if he'd be your first choice to do the tell-all interview. Man,
what would you have paid to watch last night's game with Andy Avalos?
Do you think he watched?
There's no way he didn't. There's no chance.
I was talking to Jay Tust about that in the press box. I mean, part of me thinks he just couldn't. He took his daughters to a movie or something and just couldn't watch. But part of me probably figured he was watching.
Yeah,
and he's probably shaking his head. Just saying, I don't know, man.
I thought the most interesting part of the whole thing is I think it's pretty well known now that Andy had his hands in the offense for the entire time he was the head coach. He is not an offensive guy. So that's kind of an odd thing. And, we saw it with Tim Plow. I would love to see Tim Plow get another chance as an offensive coordinator. I think it will look a lot different than it did at Boise State. And then Dirk Cutter was probably the one guy who was like, I'm going to run the offense I want to run. And you started to see it, the whole thing change. It was a lot of RPOs, and then Bush Hamden gets in, and the offense that Boise State was running did not look very similar to what he was running at Missouri those last couple of weeks, and really did not look like the offense last night.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really interesting. I think this is a good look for Bush Hamden, for Spencer Danielson, for Taylon Green. Holy cow, what that kid's been through this year. I felt so bad for him after the one where he started and then Maddox came in after one play.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm at a bar like shaking my head like there's no way they just did that.
Yeah, man. We miss you, man.
I miss you guys.
We enjoyed having you back. Folks are saying, he was watching, probably drinking a Cutwater as well. No question he watched. Let's see here. He said even Harsin tweeted a yes gif after the win.
I saw that. That was
really.
It was like from the Breakfast Club, I think.
Wow.
Yeah. So Harsin had to be watching.
Andy was probably licking his chops after the 10-0 deficit.
He turned it off. I wonder though, like if you're a coach who got fired and you got the money coming, do you just say, honey, we're going to Barbados? Or like, you ever been to Vienna?
Yeah.
Something like that. Like, do you just get out of the country? Do you try and just escape for a little bit?
You would think. I mean, that's got to be really tough for his family and his wife and kids.
Yeah.
And But yeah, he has 3 million reasons why he'll land on his feet. He'll be okay. But man, they looked good last night though.
Yeah,
they looked really good. Look who it is, man. The great Cody Gogler. I said Cody made it. Here he is. The great Cody Gogler. He made it. He's here. There he is. You had to go through New York, New Jersey. We gotta talk to your travel agent, man. He went through New Jersey, but he is here. I'll let you catch up with Cody, man. Appreciate you for coming on.
DJ.
There he is, Jordan K. And we're having fun here on the BNN pregame show. Cody's got the T-shirt and the sport coat, man. I don't think I could pull that off, but Cody went through New Jersey, he said. How about that? But we are here. We're having fun and excited to be here. Let's hear from the head coach, Leon Rice. First, we're going to take a quick timeout, 90 seconds. Don't go anywhere, 90 seconds. Then we're going to hear from Leon Rice next on the pregame show. Bronco Nation News is sponsored by Tommy Alquist and Ball Ventures Alquist, Idaho's premier commercial real estate development company. BVA projects specialize in office, retail, flex, medical, and industrial spaces located at some of the most strategic and visible locations in the valley. Need a developer? Looking for new space? Think BVA. At BVA, we are Idaho's developer. The Nicolason family and SON management have proudly been operating Taco Bell restaurants in and around the Treasure Valley since 1969. One of the first to make a 7-figure donation to the Lyle Smith Society, they've also stepped up their support of Boise State athletics with the Taco Bell men's and women's basketball endowed scholarships. The Nicolason family and SON management have committed at least $310,000 by 2026. Get more information on their financial support of Boise State athletics and find information on applying to work at Taco Bell at TacoBellWorks.com. Lithia Ford of Boise is a proud supporter of Boise State athletics and the official car and truck of the Broncos. Lithia Ford of Boise supports Bronco student athletes through NIL deals, including providing Ford vehicles to Taylon Green and Riley Smith from the football team and Paige Barsh from the volleyball team. Rain's family purchased our F-150 from Lithia Ford. Couldn't be happier with the purchase. Check out the all-electric F-150 Lightning or the electric Mustang Mach-E at Lithia Ford, and make sure to check out their full inventory of vehicles at LithiaFordBoise.com. The Blue and Orange Store is the perfect spot to get all your gear for your next Bronco game. The Blue and Orange Store has official Nike apparel, including jerseys, shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, hats, and more. Wear what the Broncos wear and get it at the Blue and Orange Store, the second floor of the Boise Town Square Mall, or get free shipping on a $40 order online at theblueandorangestore.com. Boise State back on the court. Now you see Clemson taking the court. Clemson in the all-white uniforms. Boise State in the all-black uniforms today as Boise State gets set for a big road test here at LittleJohn Coliseum against the Clemson Tigers. Really excited. Looking forward to this one. It's the first of a 4-game road trip for the Broncos. They're heading down to Orlando tomorrow for the ESPN Invitational. That's going to be a lot of fun. They'll play on Thursday night at 6 p.m. Mountain Time against Virginia Tech. So looking forward to a fun one. Jordan forgot his hat here. I got to make sure he gets this back. Jordan, don't forget your hat here, man. There's Jordan needs his hat. But let's hear from Leon Rice. You see the band starting to play over to the left. Get your comments in. Get your questions in. We'll keep it rolling here. Big crowd. Yeah, it's still 25 minutes till tip-off. Not sure what kind of crowd they're expecting here for this one, but let's hear from Leon Rice, Boise State head coach, as we get you set for tip-off.
A lot better to do this than to make 2 trips to the East Coast. Trips to the East Coast affect a West Coast team, and we've studied all that, and so but you can't say no to a home and home with an ACC school, and our fans, I think, are going to be excited. They always like it when we get football schools to come here. But you couldn't say no to it. Calendar-wise, it worked out great. And, it's a good time of year. We're going to be in nice weather, and the excitement of being in a big-time football atmosphere. We'll be practicing while Carolina's playing Clemson across the parking lot. I assume it's a park. I haven't been there, but so I'm sure we'll have to deal with a little traffic and all that stuff. But there'll be a buzz in the air, and it's exciting for our guys.
How cool are trips like this? I mean, this is where you're going to find out, obviously, a lot about your team.
Yeah, and you do. You're finding out a lot in good ways, bad ways, all those things. But it's not an end all. These are great opportunities, and the thing about college basketball, you look at some of Michigan State's 1 and 2 right now. Look who they played, and they played good teams already. Duke's played good teams already, and so it's not an end all if you could lose one now, but these wins can be, resume builders, and they pay dividends all the way to the NCAA tournament. So you have to get these on your schedule, and it's better than, that's why when people talk about preseasons, they go, well, this team's 12-0, they're good. It all depends on who you play. And sure, you got to go out and still win them, but some teams play 12 straight home games, and they're all guarantee games. And, so how do you know, and how do they test themselves, and how do they build a resume for the NCAA tournament?
How do you think the Boise State basketball brand has grown since you've been here? Because you probably used to go out to a game like this, and I just it feels like it probably has a different approach or a different meaning from when you go out, and the recognition you guys get now being back-to-back NCAA tournament teams going to play Clemson. Like, it's just not another game for them. It's probably one they got to show up for.
Well, I don't think the way I've viewed our brand and the way I've approached it has changed at all. It's just the outside world. Yeah, and we've earned respect, and our programs earned respect. So that's big. And it's never happened in the history of the school for us to get a home and home with an ACC team. And so, yeah, that's growth, and that's what you always want, and those kind of things. And it's a great game for both of us. It really is. And I think Brad's definitely has an NCAA tournament team this year. They are a really good team. They got shooting, they got size, they got rebounding. They're so well coached, and they're a veteran team. They're going to have a great year.
Greatest challenge facing them?
Well, with Bob, I always go to the boards. I think they're a real physical team, and I think they attack the glass pretty hard and with a physical presence. They don't just run to the ball. They're going to go through your body some if you're not physical. And I think that presents a huge challenge, because you can do all the other things, defend everything great, but if you can't rebound against a team like this, you got no chance.
With so many games in such a short amount of time coming up here too, how will your depth on your bench help throughout all this? And I'm assuming, like, maybe at point in times last year, you might have been a little more apprehensive to take a guy off and throw him in the fire, and that might not be as much the case this year.
Well, you have to. And you look at the tournament, even when we didn't have much depth, I had to go there a lot to get us through the, 3 games in 4 days, and now you add another game on this trip. This is our depth is going to be tested, and it's going to be needed. And so, we have had a great week of practice. We got to get better at a lot of stuff still. And it's, I told the guys after that San Francisco win, it's the team that gets a lot better that's going to be there in where they want to be in the end, not the team that won on November 11th. That doesn't, it's great, but we got to get a lot better.
Well, there you go, Leon Rice. The rest of that interview is up on the BNN YouTube channel. By the way, Spencer Danielson, George Halani, Ahmed Hassani, and all those interviews are up on the BNN YouTube channel as well. We have our full post-game story from last night's game as well. Again, literally 12 hours ago, I was leaving Maverick Stadium there at Utah State, and here we are at LittleJohn Coliseum on the campus of Clemson University. About 20 minutes till tip-off. We'll see how the crowd continues to file in, but doesn't look like it's going to be a sellout crowd today by any means. Not sure Boise State brings the name from a basketball perspective that some of the Clemson opponents do, but maybe that's good for the Broncos here. They're going to be sleeping on them a little bit. Again, Boise State wearing the black uniforms. Going to be fun. Appreciate you guys for checking us out. We got to get off here due to our contractual obligations of being off 15 minutes prior to tip-off, but appreciate everybody for checking us out on the Lithia Florida Boise pregame show. Go check some Cutwaters and have fun tonight. Have fun this afternoon. There's football on, and you got Boise State basketball, big early season test here for the Broncos. So full coverage coming up at BroncoNationNews.com. We'll have a full story, and, of course, we'll have a full post-game show as well, scheduled to have Leon Rice and some players one-on-one. Bronco Nation News, the only media outlet from Boise that made the trip here for this one. So if you're wanting some post-game coverage, this is where you're going to get it, right here at Bronco Nation News. So make sure you subscribe. Make sure you're subscribing on YouTube there. I think the red button's down here in this corner if you're on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button, and we'll be back on the post-game show with interviews and all that good stuff. So hope you'll join us. Enjoy the game. We appreciate you for checking us out. Again, I think the spread is like 6 points. You've got a 6-point spread. And then I'm trying to see if I recognize any of the officials here. So far, I don't. But you got a 6-point spread in favor of Clemson. I think it's a 5-point game on Ken Palm. So Boise State's an underdog today. We'll see if they can get it done. Am I heading to Idaho Falls for the St. Mary's game? That is the plan. But if Boise State is in the championship game for football, we're going to have to figure out how that's going to work. I may not be able to with the football game the next afternoon at 1 o'clock. So we'll see if we can do that. Linda, thank you. Really appreciate that, Linda. Thank you. We would love to have everybody subscribe. BNN 50 deal is the promo code. It's $50. You get a full year of coverage from myself, Mike Prater, all kinds of exclusive content and shows. And you're also just helping support us with our travel costs and things to be here for games like this. So it's an 11-day trip for Bronco Nation News. We're heading down to Orlando tomorrow and full coverage of the ESPN Invitational all week. We'll have basketball. We'll have football coverage as well. We got Brandon Walton. We'll have some folks in Boise still covering all the Boise State football news this week as well. So we'll have you covered on both fronts. But we're about 15 minutes till tip-off, getting ready for this one. Enjoy the game. We appreciate you guys for checking us out. I'm going to go drink my last rain here and get ready for tip-off. So appreciate you guys. We're on fumes, but we're pushing along and having fun here on the Lithia Florida Boise pregame show. So again, Cutwater Spirits, more than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails. Pick one up at your local gas station or grocery store. Our title sponsor is rowpaint.com. Check them out for all your painting needs, interior, exterior, residential, commercial, industrial, you name it. Rowpaint.com can take care of you. By the way, shout out to the Nicolason family, SON Management, and Taco Bell. I saw Stan and Steven at the football game last night. They're big basketball fans as well. So head over to Taco Bell. Perfect. It's 10:37, so you got 23 minutes back in Boise to go get breakfast from Taco Bell. If not, you can go get some lunch and get some tacos and get ready to watch this basketball game coming up here in about 15 minutes. So thank you to all of our sponsors. Thank you to Tommy Alquist, BVA Dev. Check them out. Idaho's developer is Boise. Idaho's developer is BVA Dev. Boise's developer, Idaho's developer is Tommy Alquist and company at BVA. Check them out, BVADev.com. So appreciate all you guys. We're going to jump off here and get ready for the game. Again, full coverage on my Twitter account, full coverage coming up. Game starts here in about 15 minutes, and then we'll have you covered after the game as well with the full post-game show. So make sure you watch the game, and then about 20 minutes after the game, flip on back here to the BNN YouTube channel for the post-game show as well. Big opportunity for the Broncos here at Clemson. Go subscribe. We appreciate you. And we'll talk to you guys after the game. I'll see you on Twitter as well here shortly. Bronco Nation News Live from the LittleJohn Coliseum. Got some Dr. Dre on the speakers, crowd filling in. Gonna be fun here. Look, we're having some fun. Should be a fun one for Boise State coming up here in about 20 minutes. We'll talk to you guys soon. Bronco Nation News Live here from the LittleJohn Coliseum at Clemson from the Cutwater Studios. BroncoNationNews.com.